Alright, we've made it to the last lesson of Chapter 3. Lesson 3.8 is on the HL postulate. Now HL stands for hypotenuse leg, so let's get our definition in here of what that's all about. HL postulate, if the hypotenuse and a leg, and just a leg, not both, so if the hypotenuse and a leg, there's your HL, of a right triangle, I'm going to capitalize that, right triangle, correspond to the hypotenuse and leg of another right triangle, then the two right triangles are congruent. So basically what we have is another way to show that we have congruent triangles. You guys know about, you've got your side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and now you have, a little sloppy there, now you have HL. So hypotenuse leg. So you've got a fifth way to show that you have congruent triangles. So we have a few important things to note. This applies only to right triangles. Again, I'm capitalizing right again. So right triangles. That's pretty important. If you don't have a right triangle, don't even try to use the HL postulate. All right, in a proof, you must establish that the triangles you're dealing with are right triangles. So basically, you have to prove that they're right triangles. You have to do this before you use the HL. So part of the proof will be proving that they're right triangles, and then you can bring in the HL postulate. So three conditions involved with the HL. First is you have to have right angles. You probably already figured that was one of them. You have to have a right angle to have a right triangle. So maybe that's given to you. It could be your given. You could have a perpendicular or perpendicular lines. Those give you right angles. Or maybe you have an altitude in your triangle. Remember, altitude comes from one vertex and comes down to give you right angles with the opposite side. Also, your corresponding hypotenuses have to be congruent. So let's just do a little sketch over here. A couple triangles. We have A, B, C, D, E, F. So the hypotenuse has to be congruent for us to use the HL postulate. So hypotenuse has to be one of the congruent sides. And then the third condition is you have to have corresponding legs congruent. And this is not both legs, only one leg has to be congruent. Remember, a leg is the same thing as a side. So let's say this side AC is congruent to DF. That's a leg congruent to another leg. So you have a hypotenuse leg congruency. So it's kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of a shortcut through that, like side, 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 you have to have three congruencies. Well, with hypotenuse leg, if it's a right triangle, all you need is the hypotenuse and one leg congruent to the hypotenuse and one leg of a second right triangle, and that's enough to say the triangles are congruent.